Hi, stamping friends. It's Marilyn here, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. Stamping Creations with Marilyn. If you haven't joined me before, I'd like to welcome you. I come to you at least once a week with Facebook Live, sharing some things that I'm making, sharing some things that are happening with Stampin' Up, and just having a good time creating with you. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully you will stamp along with me some days. And if not during the Facebook Live, if you would like to share anything that you make using my sample afterwards, I'd appreciate sharing it in the comments. So either here or on my YouTube channel, I have both. I do have a website as well, and I always am posting things there, all kinds of information all over the social media accounts that I have. As well, I have Instagram, Facebook, my website, YouTube Live. So yeah, thanks for joining me. So as you come on, and while I'm waiting just for a couple minutes before I turn you down to my desktop, I would like to once again welcome you. And please make a comment. Let me know where you're watching from and what you're doing to beat this hot days that we're having. Here in Alberta, we've had, I think it's what, 6 or 7 days already of close to 30 degrees. We here in our home are really lucky that we do have air conditioning, and I'm in the basement where it's cool, so not too bad where we are. So, but I know there's some of you out there that just don't have that and are trying to stay cool. So let me know how you stay cool. I'd love to see your comments. I do have a couple of things that are happening with Stampin' Up. Like I said, as always, you are welcome to follow me wherever. You are welcome to join my team, even if it's just to get a discount. We call those happy shoppers. Or if you want to make a business out of it, I'm always here to help you iron out the wrinkles and guide you along the way for that. So please reach out and keep in touch with me. So I see there's a couple watching, so I must be somewhere where somebody can see me, so that's great. So I'm going to turn my camera down, hopefully not make you dizzy. And we are going to share today, I'm going to share with you some products from the ice cream set that's currently available in catalogs from Stampin' Up. So let's get started. So there's the other side of my room. And by the magic of switching my camera around, you can see my desktop. Hey Karen, good to see you. And Judy, I do believe I saw your name there earlier, so thanks for coming along. So this is my desktop. As you can see, I have the host code that is currently available. If you order from my website under $200, I'd appreciate you using that host code. And if it's over $200, please do not put the host code in, and you will qualify for rewards from Stampin' Up. So that is a great thing as well. Free product. Who could ask for more? So first of all, you can see that I have a printout of the Designer Series paper sale that's going to be happening. It is starting on July 1st, which is only 2 days away. Okay, how come I have somehow, just let me move this a little bit. Interesting. I have a black piece coming across my my phone. Maybe I gotta go the other way with it. Ah, that's a little better. Sorry. Technology, you know, always needs fixing. So, like I said, the sale is from July 1st to August 2nd. These 9 papers, and I'll just hold them there for a minute in case you're wanting to jot them down or mark them in your catalog. They will be on sale at 15% off. So if you were thinking, I've got to save this because I just can't afford more, well, this is a great time to be able to get them at a discount. So there's, like I say, 9 different ones. You can see all the colors. You can see them in the big catalog as well. So wanted to share that with you. I can also show you only the covers, and I only have printed copies. I don't have the actual thing yet, of the Sale-A-Bration that will be coming in August 3rd to September 30th. And the new mini Christmas catalog. If you're looking to get your hands on these a little sooner, you can always join in my team, and demonstrators do get to order from these catalogs, well, order from this one and earn products from this one as of July 1st. So again, coming up soon on Thursday. Some great things in here. Kind of hard to decide what we're going to order. Then, more catalog. This particular one is ending tomorrow. So if there's anything in here that you don't see in the annual catalog and you had put it on your list and thought, well, maybe, just maybe I should be getting that, now's a great time to shop for that. So once again, welcome to everyone, and hopefully please put in the comments where you're watching from and what you're doing to stay cool in this hot weather that we are having. I'm sure, according to the weather that we watch, it is all over Alberta for sure, Saskatchewan, BC, down into the States. So hopefully it's not cold where you are, and let's share how we keep cool. Okay, so those catalogs. The one today I want to share with you that we're going to use is the Sweet Ice Cream Bundle. So it comes, I'm going to put it like that so it's not glaring in your eyes. There's a punch and a stamp set, and you will find it on page 49 of this catalog. And until the end of tomorrow, you can buy it as a bundle, which is a 10% saving for the stamp set and the punch. So we're going to use that today. This paper also coordinates with it. I'll show you a little bit more with that. And if you're looking at my catalog, I have the orange markings. That means they are being retired. The stamp set and punch are not retired, but they will not be available as a bundle after tomorrow. So some great samples. Again, there are some embellishments. There's different paper we can use, and of course make things with the punch. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So you've seen the stamp set and the punch. I am going to show you the designer paper. Comes in all of these colors: terracotta tile, old olive, Bermuda Bay, blackberry bliss, cinnamon cider, whisper white. And this is either side of the paper. This is how I like to show my paper. And keep it where I can find out, oh, this has this, maybe I'll use that. And these are the solid colors that I just read from up here. So some great choices for summertime treats. So what we're going to do today, I will show you the card. This is my sample. And I thought, because we're going through such a heat stroke here, well, not heat stroke, but you know what I mean, hot days, that we should be thinking of ice cream. Of course, I think of ice cream most of the time. So this is one that I made with a bit of embossing, punched out from the designer paper, stamped the cones, used the happy birthday, and hope it's sweet. So I'm going to do one similar. And oh, on the inside, I did just put a piece of designer paper along there. So to begin with, I took some of these papers and I just punched the cone part from it. So these papers, you can do that. You can punch just out where you want it, or you could punch, of course, designer paper, you have both sides. When I was doing it, and you can see it, I'm just going to point it out to you, not that I'm proud of it, but just along here, do you see that rough edge that's happening there? I thought, oh boy, my punch is getting dull. I don't want that happening. So, of course, in my kitchen, I have some tin foil. And to sharpen a punch, you can, and I usually use a double layer, and just punch it 2 or 3 times. And that tin foil will help sharpen your punch. So I did that, and I was quite pleased with how except I don't want that stuck in there. But with how it did sharpen it with only 3 or 4 punches. So hi Sandra, let me know where you're from and how you're staying cool in our heat, in our hot weather. So for this card, I'm going to punch out 3 ice cream. And you can see that one doesn't have near the rough edges that the first one did. I'm not going to keep that piece for the cone. And on this one, you know what? I don't want that color. So you have all kinds of choices here. I like this one over here. I don't know what flavor that would be. Let me know if you do. What kind of flavor do you think those colors would be if they were really ice cream? And then there is lots of choices on this one. And I'm going to just take that one because I kind of like the looks of it. So that's what I did for my ice cream. For the cones, like I say, on that one I stamped. We do have these stamps out of the set, so you can see them here. Well, maybe you can if I was to. Just a minute. I learned a trick on how to do that. I'll just lay this back. If I do that, whoa, that's still not great. Well, anyway, they're on there, and you can see them here. So you stamp, and I used early espresso and crumb cake for those colors that I did on that one. But for this one, I'm going to use this paper, which is the flip side of one of these designer papers that comes as your waffle cone. Okay, so lots of choices again with that. So I'm going to just tuck those over there for now. My card, I'm using a Blackberry Bliss base. And partly, when I choose my colors, especially when I'm using designer paper, I go to the designer paper itself, and it always has a list of the colors that are in it. So I do write them bigger because my eyesight's maybe not quite as good as it should be. And I pick a color from there. So Blackberry Bliss was one of them. And because I was using this color and this one's going to be, I thought it would suit it. Then another one out of there was Petal Pink. And if you notice, I've got little speckles. I'm going to call them speckles. I thought, okay, this is just too plain in my world. So I took the Petal Pink ink, and when you stamp like colors, like as in the same, it just darkens it a little bit. So I took that stamp and I just randomly stamped, turning my paper, turning my block to give it some dimension or some background. And I always like to stamp off the edge a little bit. It just makes it look, in my world, look a little better. And when I got that done, I laid my ice cream cones on it, and I thought, oh, still not quite right. So I took, and again you can see if I hold it up here, I did an embossing folder with it. So I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to do that again. I'll leave that up there so I don't lose it, because that's usually what happens when I go to use this machine on my desktop. Whoa, careful. Just about knocked the light off. I have painted texture embossing folder. I write on mine that I'm going to use plate 4 so that I know what plates are needed. You also have, when you have one of these machines, it has plate 1 and it has description of what you need. So they've really put a lot of thought into how to make this easy for us. And then I have plate 4 that I put on top. You always have to make a sandwich. Try to wind it through there without, there. Say, without creating a lot of shaking and without breaking your eardrums. So now when I bring that out, I have much more dimension in my card, or my background layer, I guess it is. So then I took and built my, or designed where I was going to put my cones. And like I say, this time I'm going to use these. But before I get there, my happy birthday seemed a little bit larger. So I thought I better figure that out first. So I took the words, which are in that set, and that one's too small. I have a drawer full of these, but I'm not going to show you all of them. So I brought out, okay, this paper will work, this paper will work. This one's a little bit wider. I think that one might work. So it's always great, I think, to keep these pieces of paper. If you notice when you cut for this layer, if you cut off from your regular size sheet, you end up with strips like this. And lots of times they're too small, but when you're going to do something like this, Hope It's Sweet, they're perfect. So again, with a bigger stamp, I usually turn my stamp over and stamp it that way. And I'm going to put my happy birthday here because I am going to trim it fairly close afterwards. I'm not rocking it, so that shouldn't make a difference. And while I've got the ink open, I'm going to take this little tiny one. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Please let me know where you're watching from and how you're staying cool in this weather. So there's my stamping. That's all I did on this one. You could do a lot more. You could do your inside layer. I decided not to on my sample, and I won't on this one either. So for the happy birthday, I am going to bring in my trimmer because it is, and I don't need my pad underneath it anymore. It is a much bigger piece to be cutting. For that little piece, I am going to trim that with scissors, and I'll show you that it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to trim fairly close to the edges of it. Oh, that was just about too close. And yeah, it's a little bit smaller than that one, but I think it'll work. And then, okay, sure, I'm going to trim the little one. Can't find it now. Lost it. Oh, here it is. Duh, never mind. So this one, I took just my paper snips and snipped it this way because I wanted it, and it's pretty tiny to be putting in the paper trimmer. You probably could, but it also doesn't have to be perfect. So there is my words for the outside. So now when I went to put it together, I know I'm going to put my cones on with dimensionals. These are going to slide up underneath just like a cone. I'm going to have room to put my happy birthday, and I'm going to put my Hope This Is Sweet. So I do have the room. So I will put regular dimensionals on here. And because I don't want them bobbing all over the place, I'm going to put 3 on each cone, on each ice cream. And I'll start by placing my middle one. And I don't often do that. Most of the time, if I am doing three things. I do the outside. Oh, that one does have an edge on it. What I could probably do is take a bit of a marker or a blend and color that. And I really, when I do this kind of placement, I like to leave, whoops, that one's up a little, leave them loose. So as you can see, I can move them a little bit. Oh, still didn't move that one down far enough. There. So there are my cones. Then, partly because this is embossed, and because I don't want this raised, whoa, got lots of ink, lots of glue on that one, like the cone is, because I want to slide that up there underneath it. I'm going to, oh, that one's even crooked. Oh well, sometimes ice cream on top of cones is crooked, isn't it? So there's my ice cream cones. Aren't they cute? I can feel that I'm going to have to go for an ice cream when this is done. I will put more dimensionals on here. And I don't know about you, but well, as I've said many times before, ice cream is one of my favorite treats. And in this weather, which we're having here in Alberta, ice cream is a real great way to cool down. So what I'm doing here, if I can put this up here where you can see it, I have got the edges on my dimensionals, and I'm just cutting them in real fine strips so that I can put them on here. And then, whoops, I took the back end off that, it would help. Looks like it, don't know what happened to that one. I've got another one. So normally, those of you who might have been watching me on Thursday evenings, I would have done Thursday again this week, but because we're having Canada Day here, I wasn't sure what we would be doing, so this week is Tuesday. Next week I will be back to Thursday evenings. So there is our card front, and I'm just going to put it on here with liquid glue because of the embossing. So while we're doing this, just want to let you know a couple things as well. I am going to be getting my new catalog soon, as we mentioned. I will be hosting a new catalog launch about the second week of August, so keep tuned, stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be starting a block party, which will include having 2 to 3 hostesses per party, and all on Facebook. You can invite your friends if there's a real wish list that you have and you're just not quite sure that you want to join my team to get your own discount. Maybe hosting a party is the way to go. So you can let me know if you'd like to, if you're interested in that. I'm just finalizing details now, so I will be putting more about that together and sending it in my newsletter. You can always subscribe to my newsletter and get all the details that way, or watch my social media accounts. I think it's going to be a fun time. We're going to do, when we do that, we'll be doing some games and some learning, some card demos like this with new products, and just a fun time. I also have a monthly card club where I ask you to either spend $30 and get the class free, or if you'd rather, just come to the class and pay $20. So that's a fun one. We do it all on Zoom, and most of the time it is recorded, so you can refer back to it if you need to. So let me know. So there are my cards, and you can see they're similar, but a great way to use your punches, to use your stamp set, and lots of, I love this happy birthday in that one. I have some other cards to share with you that are made with that set. So this one is just using the punch and the paper. That's the reverse side of that one, I believe it is. And the same happy birthday. And these are done on our note cards. This is one with the fudge sickle and just a different color. This is one as a triple-decker ice cream. And our doily, our vellum doily, which I embossed with white embossing powder. And the happy birthday done with the green embossing, which means I used green ink and then just regular stamp pad ink and did the embossing on it with clear. And this is another triple-decker one with some stamping done rather than, oh, this one's stamping as well, rather than designer paper, and the happy birthday cut apart. So that's some swap cards that I had from other demonstrators and friends. So that's all for those cards. Now to just share a few others that I've received and created. This is a card that we made in my Zoom with Friends class that we hold on Fridays, and it is done with a napkin, like a dinner napkin. Isn't that just the neatest thing? We have different people volunteer to teach these classes, and this one was done by my friend Faye. And since then we've had people finding all kinds of napkins to do these cards. So I'm afraid we're going to have, well, not afraid, I'm pleased we're going to have lots of cards to work with there. This one is one that I made recently from one of those classes as well. And this is one, whoops, that's a leftover ice cream. This is one done from the same class that someone mailed to me afterwards. So it's a great way to keep in touch with your friends by doing those. Then we have some swap cards that I've received. My friend Karen did this one. This is a die that we have circle something. I don't remember exactly, but isn't that neat how it all layers in together? And I have this one. This one's from you, Karen Garner. Thank you so much. Beautiful vellum poppies and the different shades on the leaves. This is one from Karen Y. And one that from that same swap that we do as a team. Neat fold, really neat fold. One from Lillian from the same swap, and this stamp set is really cute. It's to a person who's still got it but might not remember where they put it. Happy birthday. Always looking for great birthday cards. And another one from Sylvia. Same swap, just a different fold happening with that one. So lots of different cards to pique your interest and hopefully cause you to make some cards, share them with us. And like I say, please share them in the comments. I will do a draw, which I'm going to do for last week's card. And when I do that, if you would please, if your name is drawn, please send me a message with your mailing address, because I will send that card to you. So let me grab my iPad, and I'm going to go to my, let me get it up here. So I have all the names of those who commented in last week's Facebook Live, and whoever wins this one is going to get the card that we made last week. Karen Y, looks like it's going to be you. It is. So congratulations, Karen. I will be sending you this card that we made in last week's video. If you missed it, it is still on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. So I invite you to head there and have a look. It was another great card that I enjoyed sharing with you. And I will be doing more. Next week we'll be back on the Thursday night at 7. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm always available. I do answer fairly promptly, as long as I'm home and I'm near a device that I can. And I'd love to be in touch with you. So thanks for watching. Take care.